Yo, good afternoon, everybody. How you doing? This is your Coach Renz, and today we're going to talk a little bit practical concerning this hurricane that's coming in Irma. Auntie tripping, coming up, destroying all kind of stuff. And first and foremost, if you're able to do something for someone who's dealing with this situation, if you're able to do something to donate to any organization that is actually providing for the people in the islands, for the people who are going to need things in the United States, I implore you to go and do that first. I know many people will get on their videos and they will first talk about pray for. Well, let's understand that people need practical application. People need stuff. They need places to live, they need water, they need food. So if you have the ability to do something, to put action into your prayers and your meditation, then I implore you to put action into your prayers and meditation and not just pray. We all can do something, even if you just donate $1 or $10. If you donate a case of water, some diapers, food, canned foods. Many of you have canned foods in your house right now. And there are people around you who are going to be collecting those things for for people who are going to be displaced. And trust me, this is not going to be a 1 week thing. This is going to be something that lasts for a period of time. Houston is lasting still, in their needs. So for the people in the islands and the people in Florida and I don't know where else is going to actually hit, they're going to need your actions as well as your prayers and your meditation. But please, I'm being serious about this. They need your actions more than they need your prayers and meditation. Why do I say that? I say that because this is a physical thing. We are existing right now for this event is in a physical form. This is not a spiritual event. Although many people are using this as a spiritual political football in order for them to raise themselves up. I've heard ministers, so-called ministers, who are blaming gay people for the hurricane. Gay people for the hurricane. Saying that America has to repent. Let's ignore the hundreds of years before America that hurricanes came through this part of the country. That the Aztecs, the Mayans, they have named gods based on hurricanes. Matter of fact, the word hurricane comes from the Mayan god Huracan. So Huracan is the Mayan god name that Europeans got the term hurricane from. The Aztecs has a name, it's Tex. I'm not gonna say it because I butcher it, but it's Tex something. It's Texacotl, something like that. But in every culture, there are gods of storm. There's Thor. So do you blame Thor for the lightning? They have Thor. They have Horus, who's the god of the sky. There's Zeus. There's all these gods and goddesses of the sky and of storms in every culture. So to blame gay people is idiotic and foolish. All you're doing is showing how impoverished your belief system is, to be honest. Because when you have to point out everything, to every little incident, every little weather occurrence to say that this is God's wrath, let's ignore the science. And I'm not even talking about weather, climate change. Let's ignore the science that every year at this time frame, storms come through, from the coast of Africa, flow right up towards the Gulf of Mexico. Some years they're big, some years they're small, some years they hit, some years they don't. But this has been going on. Check the Seminole record. The Seminole records show that hurricanes have been coming up through Florida long before anybody ever got here of European descent. They've always had them. Check the Japanese records. They've shown, hurricanes or typhoons occurring in that area. Why? Because it's just the natural flow of the earth. It's just the way the weather patterns, the wind pattern, the currents, the high and low pressures work. And the fact that it happens every year during this time frame should just be an indicator that this is just what happens. Now, if man decides that he wants to build communities in Florida in places that are below sea level, if man decides that he wants to live in islands that are in the pathway of these storms, if we want to live in places that are susceptible to this, then that's our decision. But don't try to blame, a creative force for the destruction that follows because of the simple weather patterns. If this was something about gay people, then why is San Francisco still in existence? If this was about gay people, then why is Atlanta still in existence? If this was about gay people are all over the world, then the whole world should just explode. I mean, it should be like, boom, explode, kill the world, because there are gay people everywhere. But let's think about other things. What about the pedophiles that are in the churches and in the mosque and in the synagogues? What about all of those? What about the women abusers that are in all of these organizations and in every country as well? What about the thieves? What about the murderers? What about all these other things that we know go against the true nature of a God-realized man? What about all these people? What about all that? Should not there be weather occurrences, volcanoes exploding, earthquakes trembling, typhoons and tornadoes just destroying man at all times if these things that are natural are occurring because of the sinful nature of man? It is pure foolery. And if you're buying into it, then you are the fool. Remember, one of the greater books of wisdom says that both wisdom and folly sits on a wall and call out to men. Who are you going to listen to? Are you going to listen to these people who are using this in order to get you to fill their coffers, to come inside their congregations, to make you feel like something beyond the natural weather patterns is causing this event? That, yes, now, is it a possibility that the emissions of man's creation that are assisting in this? Is possible. I'm not saying it is, but it's possible. Is it possible that man have created machinery that can assist or help to create this? It's possible. Am I going to say that HARP and CERN are creating these hurricanes? I'm not going to say that, because 300 years ago, 3,000 years ago, there were no HARP, there was no CERN, but these weather patterns were occurring naturally at the same time anyway. So please let that go. Now, what can we do beyond? Okay, so let's help people if we can. I mean, man chooses to live where and adapt into different climates. Let's choose to help people if we can. Definitely that. Now, for those of the more spiritual community, those who work with energy, those who look to utilize and transmute energy, I am first and foremost, if you are not a practitioner of this, if you are not somebody who has learned this, then take it in the level that you can understand it and work with it. I was speaking with someone earlier today and we was talking about storm energy. Now, most people's bodies and their spiritual entities inside themselves cannot handle storm energy because they haven't built that up. It's kind of like a dam. A dam the Hoover Dam is built to sustain the water pressure of the Colorado River. A dam that is smaller would not be able to handle that much water nor pressure. So when you deal with the energy of the earth, the energy of the sun, the energy of the moon, when you deal with this, because the earth is one big organism that exudes energy just as your body does. And as we are connected to the earth, as you become more connected to the earth, you begin to feel and utilize and transmute this energy, kind of like you transmute the energy of your chakras in order to open up other insight, open up your communication, open up your heart, all these kinds of things. Well, as we are connected to the earth, we have the ability, if you have worked on it, you have the ability to be able to connect with the earth, to utilize the energy of the earth to renew yourself, to heal, to gain insight, to be able to manifest things in your life. Most people have grown with the idea of if I just think about it, then I can manifest something. But there is a lot more to it. But again, as a warning, if you have not been working on this, if you just want to be fly by night, then you are in a position to actually cause yourself more damage than good. So with that being said, there are certain things I'm not going to say on here because I would not want somebody who is loosely based to be able to go out and try this, because they could cause more damage. They can open up energies that they are not prepared to handle. So not going to do that. Not going to do that. I will reserve that for my clients that I work with. But during this storm, there is a tremendous amount of energy that the earth is utilizing in order to keep its balance. If you ever notice that after a storm, after a lightning storm, after a strong rainstorm, that the air is calmer and cleaner, that the air is purified a lot more, that a lot of the pollution that we put in the air has dissipated, is cleared up. The night sky is a bit clearer. The blueness of the sky is, a deeper and more vibrant blue. And one of the reasons why, because the energy that follows a storm has ionized the air and has cleaned the air. And this is why many people sleep so well after a storm. You ever notice that? How you sleep very peacefully, like during and after a good lightning storm or a good rainstorm. And that's because the air around you have been ionized and balanced, and a lot of the negative and positive poles of energy have been balanced. So you sleep better, and that affects your body. Well, if you can understand how to meditate in this time frame, if you can balance your chakras and release the negative stress of your body and your mind. If you've seen some of my videos before, I've told you that, like, in your base chakra, that is blocked by fear. So during this time frame of this storm, pre, during, and post, release all fears. Whatever you're working on dealing with in your life right now and is causing you to be fearful of the next stage, release that fear, right? Release any guilt, shame, release any old past hurts, release any lies that you've been telling yourself. Allow yourself to see the trueness of who you are and everything around you, and how all things are connected, and be willing to let go and let yourself be free. If you're willing to do this at this time frame through your meditations, like, let's say you're having a relationship problem or relationship issue with someone, and you and that person could, if you came together right now and you identify what the issue is, the problem, and then you see the solution, and in your meditation release anything that can prevent the solution and only see the issue being solved. If it's a romantic relationship, only see yourselves being closer bonded to one another, working beyond any problems that may have existed between you. See yourself in that condition, meditate on it, release any of the negative influences of the mind that will cause a blockage of that becoming reality. And during this time frame, see the energy of the earth surrounding that, embodying it, working with it. And what you will find is that you will channel that energy through you into that reality. I know for some people they're going to say that, oh, that's crazy, witchcraft, hocus pocus things. If you're on here and if you watch this video and somebody trolls it later, please, I'm going to do a whole nother video about this. Do not give in to the trolls. You will notice that I have refrained from having conversations too deep with people who I know are trolling, because they're energy vampires. They're the kind of people who just want to suck your energy out. You know how, like, you can have that discussion, that disagreement, but it's on your mind every day. It's all day. It's frustrating you. It's causing you to feel some kind of way, like off balance. That's because they've sucked the energy out of you. They've twisted your energy. So don't allow people to come into the comments and twist your energy. Don't allow people around you to twist your energy. I know this hurricane is causing a lot of destruction, but one of the things that you can learn from the Egyptians is that at one point they used to abhor the flooding of the Nile River. They saw it as a disaster. They saw it as a problem. They saw it as something that was destructive. But then they started to realize that the flood wiped away all the death and the old dirt and silt. And then what it left was a high volume of fertilized soil that now life sprung from. This is why you will see a lot of the storm gods and goddesses in different cultures, ancient cultures, are referred to also as they're also they participate in the fertility as well. As I was saying, the Mayan god Hurricane, he was also part of the creation of man. Now understand, this was a hurricane god who clouded men's vision to be able to see far off, and clouded their insight and stopped them from being able to connect with people far away. But this God who clouded them was also part of their creation. It was also part of their fertility. So there's a dualistic personality within the storm and within the energy, and we have to see these things that way. Most people are going to look at these storms and only see the destruction, but not see the benefits of it, the revitalization of the soil. I know we're not as agrarian as we used to be, but people won't see that portion of it. You know. Now, let me put it to you in basic knowledge of today. if you were in the position, this would be a great time to prepare yourself to start a demolition company, because there are a lot of places in Houston and Texas and that's going to be possibly in Florida where they're going to need demolition companies. So if you can get into the demolition business, this is a great opportunity for you. There's going to be people who are not going, the houses are going to be so cheap. If you're into real estate investment, Houston and Florida are going to be a great opportunity for you. If you're a carpenter, if you're a mason, brick mason, if you construction, this is a great opportunity for you. My father had a windows, doors, and insulation company, and when storms would ravage Florida, because he was in Tampa, those are the years he made the most money and grew his company. So yes, for a lot of people this is horrible, and I understand that. I'm not negating that, and I don't want anybody to lose their lives or their property and that sort of thing, but there is always something positive in rebirth when after a storm. Take this into your life. Whether you experience this storm or not, experience it in the way that wipe clean the negative imprints in your mind. Wipe clean the negativity around you. Wipe clean the negative people around you. Wipe clean the things around you that's causing you to have issues and problems. Maybe you're suffering financially. Well, let's take this time frame and let's Hurricane Irma your checkbook and your financial picture. Let's look at your health, and let's Hurricane Irma your health issues and destroy and clear away the negative habits that keep you into an unhealthy environment. Let's look at it and use it symbolically for that purpose. So don't just look at this as something that's negative. Everybody can benefit from it in some form or fashion. Again, though, if you can help people, then help people. One of my customers at my gourmet popcorn and ice cream shop, he was talking to me yesterday how he's housing 11 college students out of St. Petersburg, Florida. So if you can house people, if you can provide food and clothing and shelter, I'm donating some clothes today. Well, I'm putting them together. They'll go tomorrow. But I'm donating some clothing because I'm not using it. I'm not going to wear it. Even if I was, I'm just donating some clothing. But people are going to be in need. So I don't want this video to end on that on the level of, just your own personal gain. But if you can help somebody, everybody can help somebody. And in the words of John Kennedy, and I'm gonna paraphrase and change it a little bit, don't ask what your country can do for you, but ask what can you do for your community. We can do a lot if we just decide. And definitely check out the organization that you're going to give to before you give to them, because some of them are not really, like maybe 1% or 5% actually goes to the charity. So definitely investigate who you're going to give, who you're giving your money to. But the videos are going to start being more frequent. I know last month I only did like 18 videos, but and I haven't done a lot this month, but they're going to be more frequent. We're going to do more story time with an alchemist. There will be more videos on relationships and money and business and spirituality and everything. And I'm also looking at starting a podcast, a weekly podcast, probably more likely on spirituality and alchemy and relationships. So, because I can't just talk about one thing, that'd be boring. So I look forward to that. You guys tell me in the comments, and I'm gonna ask this on the next few videos. Tell me in the comments what days and times would most be beneficial to you of a live podcast. Okay, now of course it will have to fit my time as well, but let's figure that out. And other than that, please go to my Patreon account. I'm going to start doing special things in Patreon as well for those who want specific coaching as well. So I have a new program that I'm putting the finishing touches on that will change your life completely. So I look forward to it. You guys have a great day. Remember, free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable.